XDefiant could be the best FPS of the year in 2024 when the game finally releases. There are so many signs pointing to this game being exactly what the FPS community wants and needs. And lucky for us, we've got some brand new juicy details straight from the executive producer of the game. And if you want to know what those details are, then give this video a like. Can we hit 200? My name is Buckeye, and welcome to XDefiant Guides. Listen, the more time goes on here, I'm actually getting more and more excited about XDefiant. I know that we've had an unbelievably long wait. We've been making videos on XDefiant for about 4+ months at this point, but it seems like my interest is only getting stronger and stronger day after day here as we get closer to the inevitable launch of the game. Modern Warfare 3 has released, and we've been able to sink our teeth into it. And the more I play of that game, the more I actually am really excited for XDefiant, believe it or not. I'm enjoying Modern Warfare 3, but it just makes me want XDefiant. There are so many things in XDefiant that I just can't wait to actually have a part of my day-to-day, and I'm so excited for it to finally be here. So with that being said, there are so many new details that we've got regarding the game straight from Mark Rubin that he has let us know on his Twitter like he normally does. So let's go ahead and start breaking some of these things down. Something that I have seen discussed and asked about so many times over the course of our waiting period between, announcements and where we are with XDefiant right now is the presence of ranked play regarding the release of XDefiant. So the question is, will ranked play be there when the game launches? Will the preseason of XDefiant launch with ranked in the game? And the answer has come to us from Mark Rubin, stating that no, ranked play will not be launching with the game. However, it will be launching with Season 1. That is when the first ranked season starts, with Season 1. So with that in mind, I'm wondering if with that terminology, ranked season, I'm wondering if they're going to do a seasonality approach with ranked, meaning that with each season of the game, there will be a rank reset, perhaps, something along those lines. But further clarification within this question from Mark Rubin states that while ranked will start Season 1, we will have the opportunity to test out the ranked rule set in a specific special playlist during the preseason of XDefiant. So if you guys are not familiar, when the game finally releases, the initial point of release for XDefiant will be the preseason, which will be a 6-week time frame between then and when Season 1 starts. Pretty similar to what they do with Call of Duty now. I don't really think that they call it a preseason when the game launches, but the same idea. They launch the game, and then a little bit after that, they have the Season 1 that begins, and that's what XDefiant is doing here. And I'm actually pretty excited for this idea because if the game is going to be launching and we're going to have access to a special playlist trying out the ranked rule set before Season 1 comes out, I actually think that's going to be fantastic for the ranked and the competitive community. You're going to be able to try out the rule set before the season actually begins, and then once ranked drops, it is full steam ahead. So I think that this is a huge W, and I'm glad that we have a specific clarification for this. I think it's been discussed multiple times in the past, but this is a concrete answer from Mark Rubin stating exactly what to expect, and I'm pretty excited to see how this works out. Now, if you want to stay up to date for information on when ranked does begin and what those rule sets are, then make sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel. I've got brand new videos coming out every single week, and when we get those details, I'm going to be sharing them with you here. Now, when Mark last updated us about the state of XDefiant, he talked about how they were working on a few additional changes to the game, not just fixing the movement bug that ended up being a result of the anti-cheat in the game, humorously enough. And a couple of those changes that they were working on was furthering the improvement of their netcode and also implementing a brand new party and crossplay system. And I remember reading that and being very happy to see that they were exploring a better option for making that more robust and just a better system overall in the future. I'm glad that they're doing that. And now we've gotten a further clarification from Mark Rubin regarding what status that is in at the moment. Essentially, what Mark is telling us here is that this is all we're waiting for, pretty much, when it comes to the release of XDefiant. These are the last two things that the team is working on. They're working on the netcode and the party in crossplay system. That's what they're doing right now, and really, that's all that is in the way of us having the game in our hands, if that makes any sense. He understands that the game is not going to be bug-free when it does come out, but they want it to be in the best situation as it possibly can be in, and improving the netcode and the party and crossplay system is only going to provide a better overall product to the players come launch day, and I'm excited that they're working on this. At this point, we're already in the waiting basket, right? Like what are we going to do? We're continuing to wait, you know? So they might as well do what they're doing right now and improve areas of the game that's just going to make it more polished when it does come out. And I think if we take a look at Modern Warfare 3, good netcode will be very appreciated from the XDefiant community and the FPS community at large. Now, he does make sure to tell us that this stuff does take time, so I wouldn't necessarily think that just because these are the last two things that they're doing that the game's going to be coming out tomorrow. No, I do still think that this game comes out in 2024 based off of where we're at in the timeline right now. It's November 20th, and like I told you guys recently, I really don't expect them to do another playtest until very early December, and I don't see the game launching until early January. That is still my prediction, my perspective up to this point. We literally have no concrete details to explain that, actually. It's just what I'm thinking. But with that being said, Mark does say that these fixes, these additions do take time, so keep your patience rolling. But you know, I feel like we should be excited about the end result of what this is going to be. I feel like at this point, the wait is here, right? So you might as well just strap in and let it happen. And while we're waiting, you might as well make the game as good as possible. I think at this point, we know that the game's going to be good, so just make it good. And we're ready, Mark. We're ready. Now, this next thing that he talked about, I'm actually very, very excited about. We don't have a lot of details or information about this, but Mark did directly address this, and this is actually pretty cool. I'm very, very excited to have this in the game because it's also going to be cool for me as a content creator, and that is weapon inspections. We're going to actually be able to inspect our weapons in XDefiant. Now, this is not necessarily something that's coming at launch. Mark literally said that he doesn't remember exactly when it's supposed to be coming into the game, but it is going to be coming to the game. So it's on their to-do list. It's on the list of things that they're going to be adding to the game. This is probably going to be a further season down the line kind of addition to the game, but it will be here eventually. And I'm really excited about that because especially considering the fact that it would make sense to have some really cool camos in this game. I'm hoping we have some really dope camos, a cool camo grind, and some cool cosmetics to purchase and things like that. You want to be able to see them, right? You want to be able to inspect them and make them look really cool and get some nice thumbnails, you know, for the YouTube channel. I know that this is a relatively minor addition to the game and it's kind of one of those little quality of life features, but honestly, when it does come to the game, I'm going to be very, very excited. And I don't know if this has been addressed up to this point. This, to my knowledge, is probably the first time that this has been publicly addressed. I could be wrong, and if I am wrong, please feel free, let me know in the comments. But either way, this is going to be really, really cool, and I can't wait to see weapon inspecting coming to XDefiant. Now, if you want to catch me inspecting all the weapons that I possibly can inspect when that actually comes to XDefiant, then make sure you follow me on my Twitch channel. I stream every single week, Fridays and Saturdays, 11 a.m. Eastern Time to 1 p.m. Eastern Time. This week will be a little bit different because it's Thanksgiving here in the United States, but stay tuned to my Twitter, I'll let you know. But make sure to click that link in the description to go follow me on the Twitch. I'd really, really appreciate it. Now, a couple additional minor things that Mark did also address recently on his Twitter was the ability to turn off crossplay, which I'm pretty sure this is something that we already knew about, but you know, he responds to people on Twitter asking questions, keeping people in the loop, and this might have been something that kind of got lost in the weeds there for a while, but we do know that we will be able to turn off crossplay in XDefiant when it does come out. He made sure to clarify that, in addition to clarifying the status of mouse and keyboard support on console, which Mark did go on to confirm to some folks on Twitter that yes, mouse and keyboard support will be coming to console, but it will not be there on launch. And, you know, I think at this point, a lot of questions that the community are having is, will some of these things that were not anticipated to come on launch be there at launch now that the game is releasing further down the line than when they were anticipating? Or some of these features going to be added into the game now that it's been taking a little bit longer to release? We don't know. I've asked that question to Mark myself, haven't gotten a response about that, and maybe that's a topic for a video further down the line. But this is a confirmation from Mark that this feature is remaining in the same timeline that it was at before. It's coming to the game, it's just not going to be here at launch. Now, with that said, guys, I just want to take a moment because I am so excited about XDefiant. I know that, you know, I've got the channel around the game, so blah, blah, blah. I know people will say things in the comments, but my point is this. I'm so excited for this game. After having played Modern Warfare 3 and enjoying my time, by the way, and if you want to catch videos about that, check my personal channel, link in the description. But there are a lot of areas of Modern Warfare 3 that do not fulfill me the way that XDefiant has, and really just the small playtest sessions that we've had so far. There are a few key areas that I'm really, really excited to partake in with XDefiant. And I've talked about this many times on the channel, but honestly, the absence of skill-based matchmaking in XDefiant was initially the first thing that actually drew me to the game, and it is continuing to be the thing that pulls me closer and closer to the game as we get closer and closer to launch. And I'm just so excited to finally be able to experience that in reality with you guys. I keep imagining what content will be like when this game is finally here. I can't wait to make a video like this where I'm sitting down and recording, playing the game and talking to you guys and not just having to sit here and look at the camera. I'm so excited for the game. Thank you guys for being along on this ride, and I hope that the game comes here very, very soon. But with all that said, if you guys want to learn about some competitors that are out there in the FPS community that maybe XDefiant can learn something from, then check out this video on screen to learn what XDefiant can learn from the finals.